That's me. You guys see it on the screen? Feng Shui and Wind Chime. That's my very first video, 26 May 2011. So today is the 10th anniversary of my very first YouTube video. And I'm so glad I didn't miss it because it's all been a blur, in all honesty. I don't necessarily, I'm not good with dates. If I'm not careful, I can forget anniversaries and birthdays. That's me. You guys see it on the screen? Feng Shui and Wind Chime. That's my very first video, 26 May 2011. 10 years ago. And decent views, 34,000 views. So that's, yeah, that was it. And this is, you know, this was from my, my iMac on my webcam, looking into my living room. And I remember my husband at that time, he was like, people are looking into our living room. So subsequently, you see my other videos after that, I had a background. I am so grateful, because this YouTube channel, in all honesty, is how my business survived. In all honesty, because most of you guys, some of you were referred, some of you found me on Facebook, but most of you found me on YouTube. Most of you guys found me on YouTube. And so in all honesty, without the beauty and the power of YouTube, I don't think my business would be where it is right now. Oh, Ellie, yes, you found me in a meetup group meeting. Ellie actually is in Toronto, in my town, and how she found me is in person. One video and you signed up. Yes, Cindy. Found, and Lucas said, found you on YouTube, and so glad I have found you. Yes, Lucas went, some of you guys went the whole hog with me. Like, you found me on YouTube, you guys did the annual training, you did the certification, and now some of you guys are in manifesting code. Pretty much everything I put out, you guys are in there. I have some like faithful followers here. 10 years ago was when my very first video was uploaded, and I can tell you, it was a mindset hurdle, because I actually wanted to do YouTube 2 years prior to that. So like 2009, that's when I've already started doing my Feng Shui consulting part-time, and I've wanted to do YouTube because at that time, like, it was still kind of new. So I have to thank my husband for giving me that kick in the behind that I needed, because now I can't just talk and not act. People say, oh, your business is doing well because you've got good Feng Shui. Well, yes, I also worked hard and I invested in my business. I invested in what's between my ears. Like, I took courses in terms of like how to do social media. I took courses on how to do video marketing. I took courses on how to, you know, do sales, how to do sales calls and all that. So all of my success, I would say Feng Shui is, again, 1/3. The other 1/3 is, well, just like what my husband forced me to do, right? He bought me the camera, and now I have to act. In law of attraction, part of it is action, right? So law of attraction is not just thinking positive, it's also doing the work, putting in the action. First year of me going full-time in my Feng Shui consulting was tough. It was tough. It was a leap of faith. Prior to me going full-time in my Feng Shui consulting, I've already built it for 4 years part-time. And so I would have my day job. Sometimes after work, I would go to a client's house in the evening, most days I would try to book them over the weekends. So for many years, as you can imagine, for many years, I did not really have full weekends off. And so, yeah, so that first year was a lot to prove to him and also to prove to myself. And so it was, and a lot of fear too. As much as I'm fueled with ambition, um, there was actually a lot of fear and worry. So it was a grind, you know, worked on my website, worked on all other stuff, figured out how to use social media, how to use video marketing and all that. And then I started meeting beautiful people, beautiful clients like you guys. And then I started thinking about how I started thinking about my dissatisfaction with the Feng Shui industry, where there's just so much crap out there. And that's when the annual training was birthed, and then things just started gaining momentum, and I started finding my foot in the business. I started finding my voice in terms of what kind of message I really want to share with the world out there. Business, being an entrepreneur, is the biggest self-development journey one can undertake. And I totally agree with that. Marilyn is asking, what do you think about this full moon lunar eclipse? Well, some of you guys know I do moon rituals. Likely after this, I will do a quick one on my own. Sometimes in the past few years, I've done live moon rituals with my manifesting code members. So what do I think about it? I think, well, actually, you can do moon rituals anytime. You just follow the cycle of the moon, right? You can do it during new moon or full moon or waning moon or waxing moon. The moon has different qualities in different cycles. Love my lotus flowers and my passion. Yes, well, I love flowers. I do love flowers. This is actually not, maybe I'm clashing. I don't know if I'm clashing, like flowers on flowers. I wasn't really even thinking about that. I love plants. I love plants. And talking about, you know, mental health, find something where you can get back into center again. You know, it can be as simple as, you know, listening to your favorite music. For me, it's just digging my hands into the soil, planting my plants, my flowers, my vegetables. For others, you know, it's walking in the woods. You know, I know we can't hang out with friends and family the way we used to, then I hope you can find an alternative. Can you prepare us for selecting period 9 compliant homes during period 8? I do that in the certification course. I know, okay, those of you who took my certification course, now you understand why there are certain topics that I can't really do on a live stream. I have to be really careful with giving like one size fits all kind of information, because someone can take one information and run with it and get bad results from it, right? So honestly, it doesn't have to be a Feng Shui course with me, but if you want to learn Feng Shui, honestly, and I say this over and over again, you can't learn Feng Shui, you cannot learn Feng Shui from a book. You need a proper course and a properly trained teacher from a respected lineage, okay? None of that fast food Feng Shui courses, you guys. And a couple of the students who took my certification course, they almost spent the same amount of money on a fast food Feng Shui course. So you might as well make sure that you invest in a proper Feng Shui course. But really, why prepare for period 9? Some of us, we can prepare for period 1, prepare for period 2. As long as you have the Feng Shui knowledge, the right Feng Shui foundation. And I'm not saying this lightly when I say you take the course and you can use it for the rest of your life. That is just how it is. It's the truth. So you can build a house that's good for 60 years, good for 80 years. If it's a house that you want to pass down to your great grandchildren, right? It's all in having the right foundational training. Jackie's asking, just curious, after your husband being skeptical about Feng Shui, does he now recommend it? Has he talked to his friends, family about it? But definitely he was very skeptical, but he's seeing it. And then now we follow the monthly Feng Shui and I move him around. Everyone works from home now, right? So depending on the monthly flying star, I move him around and he follows. Sometimes he'll push back, but give it a couple of days and he'll like, okay, what if I put my desk where you told me, but can I face it this way or that way? So, you know, some men, they don't always go follow without resistance. But in the end, where my husband is concerned, he will listen in the end. Yeah, exactly. Tara saying, my certification course, totally worth the money. Learn so much about my home. Once you know the real Feng Shui basics, you can see what is coming up. Tara, thank you for reminding me about that. So, some tough love here. Those of you who follow me, subscribed to my videos, if you're still doing fast food Feng Shui, you are really missing out on the power of Feng Shui. Because even my students who take the very first level, okay, they've learned to calculate the energies of the past. And at the same time, even just from that one course, that's what another one of my students, Elizabeth, called it forensic Feng Shui. I am going to borrow that term because it is forensics. You're going back into the past to basically excavate and look at the energetic pattern and realizing, my gosh, this is the permanent energy combined with the annual energy, and then combined with the monthly energy, and maybe combined with the bed placement, or combined with where the door is, where the kitchen is. Like all these beautiful layers all come together, and my students would say, oh my gosh, Safrina, now I know why such and such thing happened. You can also look to the future. If there's good energy coming based on the permanent and the annual and the monthly and the astrology, then you can make sure you put yourself in the right place in the right time in your house to absorb that good energy, and vice versa. The reason why I have clients who come back to me year after year, the ones who get an annual written report from me, is because of the ability to forecast with Feng Shui. And there's been many times. I have one client, actually, he wrote me twice. He emailed me twice. Many times on his report, the first time was I warned him about a break-in. And unfortunately, it happened. When he emailed me about the break-in, I thought I missed it. I quickly went back to the report that I sent him. I'm like, no, I did mention that exact month. Watch out for break-ins. And then early this year, I think, he was like, Safrina, you will not believe this. I think that's basically how he started that email. He said, Safrina, you will not believe this. You said I would have a health issue with this part of my, certain body part. And he said, it did happen. It's a small one. It's still a pain in the butt though. Right? And like, it's things like these, you can't make it up. And then you guys last year who did the annual training with me, annual training for 2020, not 2021. For 2020, I talked about illness hitting, being a big issue for last year. And then I also talked about the riots that happened. And then the George Floyd riot broke out. I said those things months before it happened. Is it because I'm psychic? No, it's because we have proper flying star knowledge, right? So for those of you, if you're still doing fast food Feng Shui, like my direct teacher says, it's, it's not their path to find the right knowledge yet, and I can't force it on people, but That's just you know, why not learn the real way if you have the opportunity to? Tara's asking, what's the best way to deal with skeptics in the family when there's resistance to change? There's only so much you can do. We can't brainwash anyone. We can only let them see the results. And how many of you guys, either you did the annual training or you did the certification, and then you had a skeptical person in the family, usually it's the partner, and then they see the results, right? And then they start believing in it, right? It happens to me all the time too. When I do a consultation, most of the time it's husband and wife. Sometimes it's either the husband or the wife that reach out to me. And it's not uncommon for the other partner to be very skeptical, right? But, well, you know, the non-skeptical partner reached out, wanted a consult, and then they see results. It got to one point where one of my very first, I don't know if they're watching this, but one of my very first paying clients who are still with me, it was the wife who was skeptical, but then they got results. And even the wife was like, okay, before we make a big decision, let's check in with Safrina first. Let's see what she thinks. So the proof is in the pudding. You don't force anyone to believe in Feng Shui. They have to see it to believe it, right? That's all you can do. So Tara, just keep on doing what you're doing and just let them see the results. It gets to a point where they can't write it off as coincidence anymore. Same thing as my husband, right? You guys, some of you have heard me talk about the sock here and how we got broken into. That was the point. And 2 days prior to our place being broken into, I called it. So, so that was really the point where my husband was like, okay, that was more than just a coincidence. Like Safrina literally said we were going to get broken into if we didn't remedy the front door, which it happened. So yeah, so let them see the results, and that's it. You just keep doing the best as you can. I know it's hard if you're living with other people. You're like moving furniture and then they're moving the furniture back to where it used to be. I know, but just do your best. Bibi said, you said your husband is your Feng Shui husband. How long did it take for you guys to meet? Okay, so I was still in university and I just didn't want to be single anymore. I was dating, you know, I was having fun. I was online. I had my dating profile up, so I met a lot of people. Just nothing clicked. And when the second heartbreak happened, I was like, okay, let's try Feng Shui. I was skeptical at that time. Again, Feng Shui is 1/3, right? Law of attraction is another layer of energy, right? That's the mankind luck, I believe. So I remember crying. I was like, okay, I am so sick of this. And then I remember there was one Oprah Winfrey show where this woman, one of the guests on Oprah, said she made a list of what she looks for in her man. And then I don't know how long it took her, but then she met him. And this show I saw back in Malaysia. So that was like maybe many years prior to me getting to Canada. But that show popped up in my head. And so I was like, okay, what do I have to lose? I just took a piece of paper, tear-stained paper, and then I just wrote down 10 things I look for in my ideal romantic partner. I had a friend back home give me some tips about how to Feng Shui the little basement room that I rented at that time. I remember I had a mirror and it was reflecting my bed, so I covered that. You know, and I did a couple of other things. And so I think between the little bit of Feng Shui that I did and the law of attraction, really being clear in terms of what I look for in a husband or a partner, 2 months later, so Bibi's asking me how long, right? So 2 months later, my husband saw my profile. Our first date was mid-November. We moved in together January 1st. So 6 weeks after our first date, we moved in together. April, he proposed. And September, we got married. So 10 months after our first date. And we've been together, I think we're celebrating our 18th anniversary. So we met 2002. We got married 2003. Yeah, we got married 2003. How many years is that? Yeah, so it's a lot of years. Arlene says, your kids are also Feng Shui kids. Do you have clients with Feng Shui kids too? Thank you so much for asking that, Arlene. In fact, that is my next project, my next big mission. I will be doing another video, maybe in the next couple of weeks or so, where, sorry, got a little pretty. I will do another video where I will introduce you guys to two of my associates. Well, I only have two, Nitin and Sharon. They took the certification course with me, and they are on my consulting team. I am severely, drastically reducing my own Feng Shui consulting hours. I'm funneling most of the new clients to them because my project this year is I'm launching a fertility offering. So thank you for giving me that segue there, Arlene. I almost forgot to talk about it. Yeah, so two of my kids are Feng Shui kids. So we got married. We actually got married when I was 24. 24, we got married. I was fresh out of university, pretty much. And at 26, we started trying. And it took a year and a half. Nothing happened. I didn't even get pregnant. You know, every month, just like clockwork, Aunt Flo would visit. And everything was clear. I was young. My husband was in his 30s. No medical impediments. And so that was when, you know, and we finally, we looked into Feng Shui. And then again, I'm not saying this is everyone's timeline, but 2 months after that, we got pregnant. And part of the reason why it was hard was because my astrological chart was strong for children luck or descendant luck. My husband's wasn't. So his affinity with children energy is very weak in his chart. So that was part of the reason why it was hard for us to get pregnant that first time around. So we did the Feng Shui, we did the other stuff. Like my Feng Shui teacher told me to do donations and all other stuff. And then we got pregnant with the first one. When we tried with the second one, now those of you who know Chinese astrology, you know that the whole lifetime is then divided into 10-year periods, right? 10-year luck pillars. So by the time we were trying for our second kid, I was in a 10-year luck pillar where miscarriages was strong. So yeah, I had a stressful job, but astrologically, it wasn't helping me either. It wasn't supportive in terms of conceiving. I could get pregnant, but I couldn't stay pregnant. So the miscarriage energy was there. So after we went above and beyond Feng Shui, right? If Chinese astrology is not giving you the best cards to play with, it doesn't mean you can't do other things, right? So above and beyond Feng Shui, we did a lot of energy healing. I did a lot of forgiveness work, all sorts of other energetic work above and beyond Feng Shui. Because obviously I was doing Feng Shui already at that point. My Feng Shui was maxed. But we did the other stuff, especially the energy healing part. and a lot of releasing guilt, releasing fear, releasing worry. That's where the law of attraction work comes in. And so, yeah, and then after that, we got pregnant with my second one. So they're like 8 years apart between the two. Um, and yeah, so actually, you know, if you're on my mailing list, if you follow me on social media, in a few more weeks, you're going to see me talk about a virtual retreat mainly for fertility. It's going to be a 3-day, this is just a sneak peek. It's going to be a 3-day virtual retreat in July. Everything's done online, but 3 full days. First day, we're going to do a lot of energy work. Second day, we'll talk a little bit about Feng Shui, bed placement, and astrology. And then third day, we're going to talk about self-care. Stress management. I cannot stress enough how stress management is so key in conceiving. And not that, you know, I've been doing Feng Shui for actually 12 years now as a consultant. And I just wanted to see, I felt like there's another level that I could contribute. And, you know, so I was working with a business coach, and he was also very spiritually led, right? Not wanting to make the sale just for the sake of making a sale. We want to build our business on a foundation of service, on a foundation of contributing to the world. And then when he found out that I had my 2 Feng Shui babies, he was like, what about serving more clients in getting their own Feng Shui babies? And I was like, yeah, you know what? People don't realize the power of Feng Shui and energy work as a combination in drastically increasing fertility. And I've only had 13 couples come to me specifically for that. In 12 years, I've only had 13 couples who actively sought me out because they've been trying for minimum 2 years, minimum. And so far, I've gotten 75% success rate. And so this year, I'm taking my foot off of the Feng Shui consulting bit so that I can focus on the fertility bit. So you guys will hear me talk a little bit more about that in my social media as well. So yeah, it will be intense though. There's the 3-day virtual retreat, but obviously there's so much that goes into energy work in terms of. So I did a survey for people who have been struggling with conceiving, and some of them came and saying, "Oh, my doctor thinks I'm overweight. I'm not healthy enough. My eggs are not healthy enough. You know, whatever. I won't be a good candidate for natural conception or whatever it is." There's more to just physical weight when it comes to conceiving. There's emotional weight. There's mental weight. There's spiritual weight that we all, women and men, need to shed, because those energetic blockages just layer up and, you know, decrease your chances of a healthy pregnancy. So that's my next mission. I would love to have 1,000 Feng Shui babies. I don't know how long it'll take me, but that's going to be my goal. As part of the anniversary, YouTube anniversary, I wanted to do something fun. So we're going to do a lucky draw. So whoever has did a comment during this video, during this live stream, that is your lucky draw ticket. So that's the mug, you guys. If you want to take a look, you can go to the URL there, fengshuiandprosper.com. I don't think it's live, but you could probably go in there. Product-page/ceramic-mug-11 ounce. If you want to. This is what you guys are going to be, well, 2 people will win this, and it's going to be a random draw. Random draw. I will announce on the social media accounts and on email who the winners are. And I don't always, if it happens to be someone where I don't have your email address, and then you need to watch for the announcement either on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or through email if I have your email list, if I have your email address. Then you have to come forward, okay? Because I don't have everyone's email addresses. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate all the support, all the love, and I know some of you guys pray for me as well, and I truly, truly appreciate that. I do feel like this is this is a great community that we have here. I have a great group inside of Facebook as well, and it just feels like we really are a Feng Shui family in there. And so if there's any other way for me to serve and support you further, please let me know, either as a comment on the video or anything like that. My next big milestone, I was just thinking this morning, maybe my goal was a little too big. I have about 23,000 YouTube subscribers right now. Initially, I wanted 100,000. I don't know how long it'll take me to get to 100,000. I think I'll be happy with 50,000 subscribers. So if you know of anyone who is open to Feng Shui, share my channel, share my content with them, and hopefully we'll spread the word. I know many of you guys are doing that alongside with me. Spread the word of real Feng Shui work, the way it should be done, right? So thank you so much, you guys, for spending part of your evening, morning, middle of the night. Lucas, if you're still here, thank you so much for hanging out with me for the past hour or so. And I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. If I am new to you and you love classical Feng Shui, meaning real Feng Shui that gives you real results, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, because I will be giving new videos every Thursday, and make sure you don't miss out on that.